Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you guys had a fantastic holiday, and hopefully, some of you are still having the opportunity to enjoy some time with your family until the new year. I wanted to discuss a little bit about DTCC today. I saw that their CEO basically put out three ways that distributed ledger technology can be utilized and transform the financial sector and markets. If you're not aware what DTCC is, it deals very much so in derivatives clearing. If you look at 2020, the volumes we're talking are absolutely massive. $2.3 quadrillion in securities transactions in 2020. So I want to hop into this real quick because this is a lot of what I mean, myself, I believe this, and I know that a lot of people that have done a lot of research believe this as well. And you basically have the CEO of DTCC stating the same thing regarding a parallel system that is being built in which distributed ledger technology, and I believe obviously that leads into digital assets eventually as well, will be running in in tandem with the legacy system. And just my opinion really is that, and obviously, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I mean, I think that once you see real utility in the innovation that's being built, run in tandem with these legacy systems, that it's only a matter of time before almost everything gets swallowed and the full transition kind of moves away from the traditional systems into the distributed ledger system, or hash graph system, whatever it may be. Here are three ways distributed ledger technology can transform markets. This is by Mike Bodson. He is the president and CEO of the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, so DTCC. I'm not going to read this entire thing verbatim, but I will post this for you guys. This was just a couple of weeks ago, December 10th, 2021. The first one is identifying the white space. So typically identifying where DLT and I'm sure that they're looking at digital assets as well, can enable or introduce better and faster infrastructure and processes. The second one is bolting distributed ledger technology onto legacy systems, basically talking about to entirely revamp systems. It's very expensive, so there needs to be a transition. There needs to be API connectivity. There needs to be interoperability with the current system. That way, it's just not a complete overhaul, which would kill a lot of institutions from just a budget standpoint and a manpower standpoint, and being able to enable those systems entirely as a switchover, just flipping the switch type thing from both systems. And what I more so believe is modernizing the infrastructure that currently exists, which will enable that's not a slow transition, but a more seamless transition from the legacy system, the legacy financial system, into the distributed ledger technology system, into digital assets. And this is exactly what the CEO of DTCC is saying as well. As we know from experience, transitioning from legacy to new technology requires market participants to live in a parallel world for a time. Financial market infrastructures need to fulfill their mission with legacy systems while testing tools and technology, including distributed ledger technology, to ensure that markets can continue to operate seamlessly. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that this is going to be XRP within DTCC. I do know that there's relationships with DTCC's former CEO, Don Donahue, being an advisor with Ripple, which we will see in a second. I know that there's relationships with R3 Corda and DTCC. I know that Hyperledger is involved. I know that Ethereum is involved. We know that XRP and XDC from Zinfin can operate seamlessly within the Corda network, and obviously Swift GPI does as well. But it's more of a big picture type thing. I consistently am seeing that the rhetoric from the mainstream media and the rhetoric from the people that want you to sell to them at a loss are just accumulating and building and building and building. And the CEO of DTCC is telling you that right here. Market participants need to live in a parallel world for a time. The other thing that I did find here, and this is just in Project Ion as well, their MVP is going to have a pilot release in the first quarter of 2022. So not too far away, a few months, right? And what we can see here is the same thing. I believe that this was released probably 4 or 5 months ago. The minimum viable product from DTCC that integrates distributed ledger technology and utilizes it for probably, in my opinion, the easiest integration points. And if they did it correctly, and I'm sure that they have because they're much higher pay grades than I am, cheaper integration points and targeting some of, I would imagine, some of the worst pain points that they may have from an inefficiency standpoint. I could be wrong about that, but again, they're telling you the minimum viable product will allow participants access to the parallel infrastructure and records for limited bilateral transactions. So we are seeing parallel systems being built. I forget what company it is that allows you either to utilize Swift or Ripple. It was one of those things that you can either utilize on-demand liquidity or GPI. This was like 4 or 5 months ago, but I'm sure that those mechanisms exist across the board. Here's the Don Donahue announcement. So this is all the way back in 2016. I'd be interested to see if Don is still an advisor at Ripple. But this is a forum, kind of a panel type thing. These are the concluding remarks, and the interviewer is basically welcoming the predecessor at Dtcc. So this is obviously the new CEO of Dtcc, whenever that was in 2016. Don Donahue, who now serves as president and CEO of Miranda Partners and as an advisor to distributed ledger technology company Ripple. And then we can see more recently in March of 2021, digitalization in action from R3, talking about DTCC as well. To realize the full benefits of blockchain in the post-trade space, DTCC will keep working closely with clients to evaluate prototypes. Overall, DTCC is confident of advancing DLT to the next steps in terms of meeting business needs, and expects there will ultimately be various DLT stacks within the core industry-owned infrastructure. Corda is anticipated to play a key role in that future. We all know that XRP can interface with Corda Settler. We all know Swift GPI does, and if you're not aware, obviously Zinfin's coin XDC becomes the leading token of value on the Corda network thanks to the, I think it's digital asset service language, crypto bridge. This is March of this past year. I did want to get into a couple of things real quick before I end this, because Allianceblock basically just announced this messaging teleporting protocol. Deals very much so in interoperability. I'm going to post this one for you guys as well, because I think it just goes to show all of the innovation and expertise that the Allianceblock team has. And if you know me, you know that I've supported this project for going on about a year almost now, and I very much so believe that Allianceblock is going to be a major player in the future. They already are right now as far as what they're doing from an innovation standpoint. Expanding the interoperability potential of Allianceblock Bridge with the cross-messaging protocol. Now this deals in, this basically deals in a lot of the inefficiencies that we're seeing right now with interoperability. Going as far, this is still running on a Hedera consensus service. The bridge itself deals right now in Ethereum, the Allianceblock Bridge, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Avalanche, Polygon, Energy Web, Arbitrum, and Optimism. With the release of the Bridge SDK, we also begin to see first DeFi projects utilize the solution to achieve interoperability, and we know interoperability is big. This is big to me, though, because this is essentially going to enable bridging of NFTs as well. And a lot of people look at NFTs as just JPEGs and things like that. The use cases and implementation of NFTs, I would even argue to the point that we may see something where NFTs are at some point in the future going to provide potentially more of a value mechanism, even, in my opinion, even than cryptocurrencies. These unit of account based cryptocurrencies, because NFTs can represent, it's almost countless the number of things that NFTs can represent in unique value. So I would pay attention to this. So upcoming use cases, NFT bridging through Allianceblock. So I would pay attention to that. Pretty cool today. I usually don't get into just a lot of the generic news stuff, but I thought this was interesting enough to share. Crypto.com and FTX reportedly spend millions for a Super Bowl ad slot. So we may see something during the Super Bowl regarding Crypto.com and FTX. Last but not least, Wells Fargo and Bank of America and other banks temporarily, quote unquote, close hundreds of branches, and they're going to formulate that around manpower issues and basically everything that's been going on over the past 2 years as well. I continuously think that that may certainly be playing a part in it. I think it's a lot of rhetoric as well, because we're starting to kind of see, in my opinion, that digital transition where a lot of the people that are working in these organizations are not going to be needed when we start to see the digital value, this digital ecosystem, distributed ledger and digital assets really start to take over. And we haven't seen anything yet. Trust me. I think that this is going to be kind completely across the board we're going to see, and it's unfortunate for a lot of people. A lot of people probably lose what jobs they thought were very, very safe jobs because of the shift and the Internet of Value. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I hope you had a fantastic holiday. I hope you're still enjoying the holiday and just trying to get back into it here. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.